Dear students, myself Dr. Mallikarjun S. Biradar, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, Government First Grade College, Basava Kalyan. Today, we are discussing 46th session of Graph Theory 2. That is, we are starting a new unit, 4th unit of Graph Theory 2. That is, directed graphs, or you may say digraphs. So we will discuss what is the digraph, what is the difference between the graph and the digraph. Suppose if I say, if I ask someone where you are going, what would be the answer? So that person may say, I am going to college, I am going to Gulbarga, I am going to Mysore. Like that, the person will say some place. Okay, it implies he is traveling from one place to another place. Okay, so there will be a direction. Suppose a person is traveling from Bangalore to Mysore. So what he will say? He will start the journey from Mysore and he will reach. He will start the journey from Bangalore and he will reach Mysore. Okay. So it implies his direction or his travel is towards Mysore, from Bangalore to Mysore. So direction is from Bangalore to Mysore. So there will be an arrow mark towards Mysore. So he may cross some other villages or cities in between Bangalore and Mysore. So it implies the directed graphs where the direction is shown. So that implies in the graphs without direction, you cannot say where one point, or you are moving from which place to which place. Okay, say if I consider an arrow mark between A and B towards B, what it implies? A person is traveling from the vertex A to the vertex B. So it implies the directed graphs. So today we are discussing, or we are giving some introduction about the directed graphs, and we will define what is the directed graph, or you can say digraph. Usually we have physical situations like one-way road maps, flow networks with the walls in the pipes, electric networks, tournaments, where we have to have the notation of directedness. So the necessity of generalization of graphs to directed graphs is obvious. Directed graphs in the form of signal flow are used for system analysis in control theory. Moreover, a graph can be thought of as a special kind of directed graph. So the meaning of this statement will be clear soon. Okay. So in detail we are going to discuss about the directed graphs. So this is just a brief introduction I have given you about the digraphs. Let me consider what is the digraph, or what is the definition of a digraph. A digraph D consists of a finite set V of vertices. Like that, the undirected graphs which we have discussed in up to 3 units. So we have discussed graph. What is graph actually there? A graph G is a non-empty set V together with a prescribed set E of unordered pairs of distinct elements of V. So there we have used the word unordered pairs of distinct elements of V. So here we won't say unordered pairs. We will say ordered pairs. So that's why there is a direction from A to B or B to A. So definitely we have to say ordered pair. We cannot say unordered pairs. Okay. A digraph D, instead of using the G notation, we are using the notation D for the digraph. There we have used the notation G for the graph. Okay. A digraph D consists of a finite set V of vertices. You may say vertices or you may say points, and a collection of ordered pairs of distinct vertices. So this is very important. Ordered pairs of distinct vertices. You may say vertices or you may say points. So let me recall once again. In case of in case of the graphs where we have not considered the directed graphs earlier. So there we have used the word unordered pairs of distinct vertices of V. Here we are using ordered pairs of distinct vertices of V. Okay. So any such pair U comma V is called an arc. You may say an arc, or you may say directed edge, or you may say a line, and will usually be denoted UV. So like that, E equal to UV is an edge. There we have used. Here also you can use E equal to uv. Okay, the arc uv, you may say edge or you may say arc. The arc uv goes from u to v. This is very important. If I specify an arc uv, what it implies? It implies the arc uv goes from u to v. If I say arc vu, it implies the arc goes from v to u. That is very important. Okay, so here I am specifying the arc uv. What it implies? The arc uv goes from u to v and is incident with u and v. There also in the undirected graphs, if I consider E equal to uv is an edge, then E is incident with both u and v. Here also it is incident with both u and v. But if I use the word arc uv, what it implies? It implies the arc uv goes from u to v and is incident with u and v, of course. We also say that uv is adjacent to v. If there is an arc uv, then we used to say u is adjacent to v and v is adjacent from u. That is the difference. So in the directed graphs, that is the difference. So if E equal to uv is an arc or an edge, what we used to say? We used to say uv is adjacent to v and v is adjacent from u. So that's the difference. Okay, here I have considered one graph. Okay, let me, yes, here is a graph. It is called digraph. You can see every edge is with a direction, you can see. But in case of undirected graphs, what we have studied earlier, without the direction of edges we have studied. So those are just graphs. Here every edge is with some direction. Okay, so this is a loop with some direction. Okay, so here if I consider one example, arc A6. Where is the arc A6? Arc A6. Okay, here this is the arc A6. Okay, so the arc A6 is a loop. Arc A6 is a loop. Okay, because it is it has traveled from C and reached to C itself. So the arc A6 is a loop. But if you consider the arcs A2 and A3, here A2 and A3, yes, here A2 and A3. Where is A3? Yes, here. See, B to A. Okay, and B to A again, A to A3. Okay, so therefore such arcs are parallel edges. Okay, so you are reaching from B to A. This is the same direction. Direction is given. This is the arc A2. So B to A, it implies towards A. Okay, and again this arc A3 is also from B to A. Okay, so such arcs where the direction is same, okay, B to A and B to A again. So such arcs are called parallel edges. I hope it is very clear for you. Okay, a loop, A6 is a loop and A2 and A3 are parallel edges. Okay, so let me consider another diagram, labeled graphs. There also in the undirected graphs, we have labeled the vertices and edges. Where the vertices and edges are labeled, there we said it is a labeled graph. Okay, here also the vertices and arcs, you may say arcs or edges, doesn't matter. The vertices and arcs may convey some meaning. Suppose there is an arc AB. What it implies? It implies you are traveling from A, you are reaching to B. So the vertices and arcs may convey some meaning. In such cases, we call them as labeled graphs. Okay. For example, you may consider one example. Consider the following situation. One example we are considering. One situation. 3 boys, say name of the boys A, B, C, are throwing balls to each other such that A always throws the ball to C. Okay, B throws the ball A to C with equal probabilities. C throws the balls to A and B with probabilities. Okay, with probabilities. Okay, then let us consider this example. Okay, what would be the situation here? Okay, I forgot to mention C throws the balls to A to B with probabilities. Here it is mentioned C to A, C to B, C to A, and C to B with the probabilities 1/3 and 2/3. Okay, that is a probability. Okay, so it implies the vertices are the name of the persons and edges, of course, some direction with the probabilities also. Okay, so it implies the labeled graph gives some meaning. Okay, so here is an example you can refer. This can be represented by the following graph with weighted edges. An edge where the weight is given is called an weighted edge. In the underrated graph also that we have discussed. Any edge, if one weight is given, means a number is assigned to an edge, is called a weighted edge. In case of Hamiltonian graphs, while finding the solution of the traveling salesman problem, there also we have labeled the edges with some real numbers. Okay, so specifically in terms of natural numbers. Okay, so this situation what we have considered, a boy A always throws the ball to C. B throws the ball to A and C with equal probabilities. C throws the ball to A and B with the probabilities 1/3, 1/2, 1/3 and 2/3. Okay, so this you can represent the situation in terms of geometrical graph. So this is the digraph. Okay, where the direction is also given and the probabilities are also mentioned. So the vertices are considered as the persons with name A, B, C. Okay, here B to A, B is throwing the ball to A with a probability 1/2. Now A is throwing the ball to C. Okay, A is throwing the ball to C, and here C is throwing ball to A with a probability 1/3. Similarly, C is throwing a ball to B with a probability 2/3. But B is throwing a ball to A as well as C with an equal probability 1/2. Okay, so therefore what I suggested, the labeling of the graph or the labeled graph gives some meaning. So that meaning is left to an individual. What the person assigns the meaning is left to an individual. So that cannot be the generalized idea. Okay, once if I draw this graph with such labels, it implies this is the meaning always. No, it depends on the person. Okay, what is the situation, how he mentions or he labels the vertices and edges. Okay, so this is another example we have considered. Let me consider one more example. Now, what do you mean by PQ digraph? There also, in case of undirected graphs, PQ graph implies it is a graph with P number of vertices and Q number of edges. Here also, if I specify PQ digraph, what it implies? A PQ digraph refers to a digraph with P vertices and Q arcs. Same meaning here also. Okay, you may say arcs or you may say edges. Okay, consider one example. Let V be the vertex set. The vertices are labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and A be the set of arcs or edges. Here ordered pairs are there: 2, 1, 1, 4, 4, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay, then V comma A, okay, a vertex set together with an edge set, okay, is a digraph with 5 vertices and 6 arcs. Definitely you can see in this diagram. Okay, so these are the vertices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here the edges 2, 1 is one edge. 2, 1. So here 2 to 1 direction is given. Next 1, 4. 1 to 4 direction is given. 4, 3. 4 to 3. Okay, direction is given again. 2, 3. 2, 3. Yes. So here ordered pair. Similarly 3, 4, 4, 5. 3, 4. Next 4 to 5. Okay. So 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So if I say 5 to 4, 5 to 4. If I say 5 to 4, the direction should be like this, opposite to this. But here there is no such edge which I have considered as an example. There is no edge 5 4. Okay, if you consider 5 4, then the direction will be towards 4. But here in edge 4 to 5, so the direction is towards 5. Okay, so this is another example of a digraph. Okay. You may consider one more example, or you can say in terms of a remark also you may say. If you observe these two digraphs, what you will come to know is the question. Okay, consider here. This is the first example and this is the second example. If you observe the first digraph, of course the direction is given. Every edge has a direction. But here between two vertices, okay, two edges with the same direction called parallel edges, which we have discussed already. Okay, so this is one situation. Here vertices are not labeled. It doesn't mean that it is not compulsory to label. If you observe the second digraph, where one edge is not with the direction, it is not a directed edge. This is just an ordinary edge. Okay, so such graphs if we consider, so what is the remark here? Our definition of a digraph, what it suggests? Multiple directed arcs and loops. Okay, thus the following figures do not represent digraphs because these two are the multiple directed edges towards the same direction. This edge is without the direction. Okay, so such graphs won't be considered as digraphs. Okay, so overall, so in this session what we have discussed, I given brief introduction about the digraphs. Okay, so what is the difference between a graph and a digraph? So the difference between the graph and digraph is, in a graph there is no direction of edges, but in case of digraph every edge has a direction. Okay, so if I consider an edge with A to B, then it is towards B. Okay, A to B. If I say BA, starting point B, ending point A, it is towards A. So direction is towards A. Okay, every edge is with some direction. So, and the introduction about the diagrams, there also I have given the physical problems you can solve with the help of the diagrams. So how to solve the physical problems, that will come to know at the end, of course, because we must know the basic ideas of diagrams. Okay, then I have given you the definition of digraph. Okay, then we have considered the label graphs where the vertices and edges are labeled. So there we have considered three boys with throwing the ball with some ratios, so that they has given one meaning. Okay, so that's kind of graphs are called labeled graphs. And the PQ digraph, any digraph with the PQ, it implies there are P number of vertices and Q number of edges, or you may say arcs. And we have considered 2-3 examples to understand the concept of a digraph. Okay, I hope you have followed. So these are the reference books: Graph Theory by Frank Harari, Narosa Publishing House, New Delhi. If you want, you can refer Graph Theory by Professor V.R. Kuli. Of course, in this book, you won't find the directed graphs, but the basic ideas of graphs are given in detail. So that's why if you want, you can refer this book also. Then another book is A First Course in Graph Theory by S.A. Chodam, Macmillan India Limited. Another book, Graph Theory by U.S. Upadhyaya, Subhash Bose, Bangalore. So this also you can refer. If you want, you can refer some other books of graph theory where the topic of a digraph is given. There are plenty of books on graph theory. Okay, so with this we conclude today's session. Thank you.